Thanks for joining us here on the Bearcats Sports Network. It's time to talk football with McKendree head football coach Mike Babcock. And coach, the Bearcats were in a battle of undefeated teams in the GLVC last week as Indianapolis came to town. And to use the analogy, it was like a heavyweight fight. The teams trading punches back and forth. The game really wasn't decided till late in the contest. A tough 34-24 loss for the Bearcats. Take us through that one, really what you learned about the team last week.
It was a great game. Great game by two good teams, and some of the things that we saw was we were able to compete. We were able to compete versus a team that has only had one loss in 3 years in conference with a top dog like Indianapolis, and be able to come away with some big plays. Especially early on, Isaac Fisher had a couple great runs. But I think the biggest thing that we can learn, coming from this game is that we still got to find a way to finish. We got to find a way to win that fourth quarter and be able to put a team away. And it doesn't matter who you play. Can you finish a football game?
You alluded to the big plays by Isaac Fisher in the first half. Both of his touchdown runs came on 4th and 1 plays, one a 19-yarder and one a career-long 60-yarder. Obviously, you guys saw something in the Indianapolis defense you wanted to try to take advantage of, but Isaac really did a lot of work on his own there.
It really was probably more of the second. Isaac doing a lot of work on his own. We saw that they like to play a lot of man-to-man, and we kind of put our money that our quarterback was better than their guy, and we rolled the dice a couple times, and we were able to come away, on the front end, of those plays. So Isaac did a real nice job. More importantly, our O-line, wide receivers did a nice job blocking up front and on the perimeter to spark those big runs. And so hopefully we can continue that and get a couple more big ones as well.
Defensively, until the closing moments, really was no more than a 7-point game at any one point. The defense came up with some big stops when you needed to, gave the ball back to the offense. Talk a little bit about the defensive play from last week.
I thought overall, the defense played well. They held Reese Horn to one of his lowest averages. They were able to corral that run game. The run game didn't work as well, as it had in the last couple games for them. So they did a nice job there, able to come off on the field on some key stops. Some of the things they need to continue to work on. We need to get turnovers. We need to find a way to get the ball back. We have to find a way to get off the field. Third downs, they were 58% on third downs. And so, we've got to find a way to stop those long drives and get off the field. Turnovers, third downs, those are kind of the biggest things. And we knew going in they had a big offensive line, that it'd be hard to get to a senior quarterback that knows how to get rid of the football, that knows what to do with it. Connor Barthel threw for 75% in the game, so he did a very nice job. And so it's just kind of continuing to kind of buy into that, hey, every play's a new play, and let's find a way to get off the field.
Saturday's game resulted in the Bearcats' first loss of the year. Now 4-1 overall, 2-1 in the GLVC. The silver lining, there's still 5 weeks of football to be played. A lot of football left, not only for the Bearcats, but for everybody else in the GLVC. So everybody's still a lot of moving and shaking still to be determined in the conference. Bearcats go on the road now for their next two, starting with a very dangerous opponent in St. Joseph's College, a team that comes in 3-3 overall, 2-2 in the league, but it's a team that can never be taken for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about you can't waste a week. You can't stop or start thinking about the last game. You got to concentrate on the next one, and this is a great test for us. You talk about a team like St. Joe's College. We haven't beaten them in 3 years, and they're very good. They're an athletic program. They're well coached. Do some different things offensively and defensively than what they did last year, but at the same point they run around hard and they make plays. They're also very good at home. They're 10-4 in the last 3 years at home. We've got to go on a 5-hour road trip. We got to play a noon game a little bit earlier. We got to play on natural grass. So there's all these little things, distractions, and so what a great test for us to say, okay, what are we going to do after a tough loss? Can we go on the road? Can we beat a top opponent? And can we do it? Can we do it this week?
How's the mindset been of the team, not only following the first loss, but bouncing back, looking to go on the road for the next 2 games? How's the week of practice been?
I think it's been pretty good. I think that, obviously after a tough loss against a team that you were hoping to beat for a conference championship, when you lose it in the last 2 minutes of the game, it's heartbroken. But the focus is, especially with those leaders that we talked about earlier in the week, is just it's the next game. We still have 5 games left. We're really worried about 1-0, and really try to push the fact that, especially if we have an opportunity to play in the playoffs, whether it's this year, next year, we want to make a run for it whenever we can get there. This is just like a playoff run. You've got to win each week if you want to play for a national championship. So that's a lot what we're trying to play for right here, and use this as a great teaching tool that, hey, even though we've got 1 loss, still got another game to go. So let's see if we can get it done.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Scott.
The McKendree St. Joseph's broadcast, the only live media you can find, is on the Bearcats Sports Network. It will be an audio broadcast beginning with the pregame show at 11:45 a.m. at www.mckbearcats.com/watch.